Good morning, students. Class 12th, Chapter 5, Lecture 11 homework and Lecture 12. So, first of all, in the lecture, I'm going to discuss one question from your homework as there were only three questions given to you in the homework. So, the question that I am discussing is of exercise 5.7, question number 17. In question 17, they have given the function y as equal to tan inverse x whole square. They are asking us to prove x square plus 1 whole square into y2. y2 means here the second order derivative plus x square plus 1 2x y1 here is the first order derivative equals to, this is what we have to obtain from the given equation. So let us differentiate our equation with respect to x first. Dy by dx will be equal to, first of power function you will be doing, you get 2 tan inverse x, then tan inverse x differentiation is 1 upon 1 plus x square, multiply both the side of the equation with 1 plus x square so that use of quotient rule is avoided, which is more time consuming. So we can write the equation as this now. After multiplying both the side with 1 plus x square, now we'll differentiate it again with respect to x because we have to reach to second order derivative. To see here, just there are two functions. 1 plus x square is the first one, dy by dx is the second one. Now we will apply product rule here. 1 plus x square as it is, differentiation of dy by dx will become d square y by dx square plus dy by dx as it is, differentiation of 1 plus x square is 2x equals to differentiation of tan inverse x is 1 plus x square. Now we'll again multiply both the side of the equation with 1 plus x square. We will get 1 plus x square whole square here, and this can be represented as y2 plus 2x into 1 plus x square dy by dx, which is y1 I can write, equals 2. This is what they were asking us to prove, right? And we have got the same equation. This is how you are going to solve the question based on proving of equations. Clear? Let us move to the new concept today, which is mean value theorems. The first one is Rolle's theorem. The second one is Lagrange's theorem. So first of all, we'll move to Rolle's theorem, whose statement is given as, if f be a real valued function which is defined on the closed interval. So you have to suppose one function that is real valued functions means in its input and output values are all real numbers on the closed interval AB, such that the function should be continuous, differentiable, and the third condition is f of a equals f of b. Then there will exist a number c. If these three conditions for the given function are satisfied, then there will exist a real number c that belongs to the interval a comma b, such that f dash c, that means we have to find f dash x first order derivative of the function. In that, instead of x we have to place c, it should be equal to 0. This is what is the application of Rolle's theorem. Now I have explained you just algebraically. We'll just go with geometrical interpretation to have a more clear idea what the statement means. In the geometrical interpretation, just have a look on the graph. Here a function is given y equal to f of x, right? And then we have taken the interval from a to b. You observe carefully. Now you see f of a and f of b are exactly equal values. So when f of a and f of b are equal, the function you see is continuous as well as differentiable in between this interval. Hence f dash c will be equal to 0. So we have to actually calculate that point c using Rolle's theorem. Clear? So we will just do some questions on Rolle's theorem to understand it more clearly. So I'll just take exercise question only to explain how Rolle's theorem works. In question number 1, they are asking us to verify Rolle's theorem for the function x square plus 2x minus 8, and x is belonging to which interval? Minus 4 comma 2. Now the first condition was that the function should be continuous. You see it is a polynomial functions. All the polynomial functions are continuous for all real values of x. Hence we will say f of x is continuous, right, in the interval or on the interval minus 4 comma 2. All the polynomial functions are differentiable for all x belonging to R. So we will write f of x is differentiable on the interval. The interval is open interval minus 4 comma 2. For differentiability we write like this. The third condition is we have to check whether f of b and f of a are equal. Now this is a, this is b. So let us first calculate that. So we'll do that in rough. Just to see, f of minus 4 will be minus 4 whole square minus 2 into 4 minus 8. So we get 16 minus 8 minus 8 and the answer is 0. Let us find f of 2, which will be 2 square plus 2 into 2 minus 8, which is 4 plus 4 minus 8. We get the answer as 0. So we say that f of a is equal to f of b. Now all the three conditions are satisfied, you see, for the Rolle's theorem. Then there exists a real number c. So we have to calculate c, and c is calculated as f dash c equating to 0. So first of all, let us calculate f dash x. When we differentiate this function, we get 2x plus 2. F dash c will be 2c plus 2. So we have to write 2c plus 2 equals 0. That gives c as minus 1. Now minus 1 is a value that belongs to minus 4 comma 2. Right. So c is the number at which f dash c will be equal to 0. This was our purpose, to find out c. This is how you are going to check the conditions of Rolle's theorem, whether they are satisfied or not. All the three conditions of continuity, differentiability and f of a equal to f of b, and then you are going to solve the question. Let us do question number 2 now. In question number 2, they are saying, examine if Rolle's theorem is applicable to any of the following function, and can you say something about the converse of Rolle's theorem from this example. The first example is greatest integer function. Okay, now greatest integer function is given. You know that it is not a continuous as well as differentiable function because it is not a continuous curve. You have already drawn the graph for greatest integer and smallest integer functions, and they have breaks in between, right? Hence they are not continuous, not differentiable. Also f of 5 will give you 5, f of 9 will give you 9, f of a and f of b are also not equal. Hence all the three conditions are violated. So Rolle's theorem is not applicable, hence the converse will not exist. For the second part also you can say it is a greatest integer function, the same reason can be given. In the third part you see it is a polynomial function, hence it will be continuous and differentiable, right? But what about f of 1 and f of 2? Are they equal? Let us just check. F of 1 will be 1 minus 1, which is 0. F of 2 will be 2 square minus 1, which is 3. They are not equal, hence Rolle's theorem can't be applied to it, and converse also will not be applicable. Clear? Now this is how you're going to, very simple question, just remember the conditions, remember the rule, and you're all set to go for the solution. Now I will discuss the another concept, which is the Lagrange's mean value theorem. Here is Lagrange's mean value theorem, whose statement is, if fx is a function, it is also a real valued function defined on the interval a comma b such that it is continuous on ab, it is differentiable on ab. Then, so here only two conditions are to be checked for continuity and differentiability. If they both are satisfied, then there will exist a number c, and here f dash c is not equal to 0. Here it is equal to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. Let us go through the geometrical interpretation and see the diagram and understand the statement more clearly. In the geometrical interpretation, just to see this graph, y is given equal to f of x, this is the curve drawn, AB is the chord, this is the tangent drawn here. So if tangent is making theta with the x-axis, so this angle BAR will be theta, and tan theta if we apply in the triangle ARB, it will be BR upon AR. That can also be written as f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. Tangent theta means differentiation of the function, that is f dash c. As you know very well, dy by dx, or we have discussed this, that what do we mean when we say that a function is differentiable? That means the curve, at every point of the curve there is a unique tangent existing, right? So this is what was said in this statement. Now let us go with the question of the exercise. So we will do exercise question 5.8 only. Question number 4 we are going to. In question number 4, they are asking us to verify mean value theorem. Whenever it is written verify mean value theorem, that means Lagrange's theorem is to be verified. Clear? Just to see in this case, f of x is x square minus 4x minus 3. You see, this is a polynomial function. It is continuous as well as differentiable. Hence, we can say that Lagrange's theorem is applicable to it. First condition of continuity is there, and second condition of differentiability is also there, being a polynomial function in the interval, right? Now, if this is there, what was the case? That f dash c will be equal to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. So let us find f of b. F of b means f of 4. F of 4, when we calculate in the function, what do we get? It is just see 4 square minus 4 into 4 minus 3. 16 minus 16 minus 3, we get the answer as minus 3. Let us find f of a, which is f of 1. So we get 1 minus 4 minus 3, which is 1 minus 7, so we get it minus 6. Let us find f dash x. When we differentiate this function given in the question, we get 2x minus 4. Hence, f dash c is 2c minus 4. Now we'll put the all values here. 2c minus 4 is equal to f of b is minus 3 minus f of a is minus 6 divided by 4 minus 1. So we get minus 3 plus 6 divided by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 2c minus 4 is 1. C is equal to 5 divided by 2, and it belongs to the interval which is 1, 4. Hence we have found C, where the function, that means differentiation of the function, will be equal to f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. So in both the theorem, the main point is to calculate the point C at which the tangent, or I say the differentiation, in the Rolle's theorem becomes 0, and in Lagrange's theorem it becomes fb minus f of a divided by b minus a. So we have discussed 3 questions of the exercise. There are total 6 questions. So you're going to do in exercise 5.8. First of all, you will complete question number 2, of which I just have given the hint. You will do question 3, you will do question 5, and you will do question number 6. These are the 4 questions for homework. So do go through the theorems well from NCERT also. There also proof is given as well as their applications. Read it carefully and come up with doubts in the next day. Thank you so much.